You're watching Btekt, this is David, and this video is sponsored by Direct Mobiles. For the best mobile deals, check out directmobiles.co.uk. Realme have recently started to make a name for themselves outside of the Chinese market, and have now just announced the new Realme X50 Pro 5G. Now this one definitely deserves to have the title Pro. If you're not tied to one particular brand and you just want the best possible bang for buck, then you need to look this way, because Realme really have squeezed a lot of the latest mobile phone technology inside this one. For starters, we've got 5G support for all of the available 5G bands at the moment, so no matter where you're going in the world, you should be able to get a strong 5G connection, as long as the country is broadcasting in a 5G signal. They have built a 360-degree 5G antenna, which should give you a nice strong signal no matter what. But I've got a bit of a problem already, and that is the fact that this particular model is still a prototype phone. Some of the phone's software and hardware is not in its final form, so we should think of this as just an early hands-on and not a review. Some of the features are definitely not working as you would expect, including the 5G, so I can't even give you a network speed test. I'm told that the Realme factory has had to stop because of the COVID-19 outbreak in China. But at least we have this unit to play with in the meantime. And one thing I do like about this phone is the color. It's called Rust Red and it has like a satin finish across the back. The color is actually grey, but it turns red in certain lights. It's available in one more color, which is moss green, which does have a similar kind of satin effect. X50 Pro has a 6.4-inch flat Super AMOLED display, 1080 by 2240 resolution, and a tall 20:9 aspect ratio, which does make it feel quite comfortable in the hand. The screen has a 90Hz refresh rate, which can be switched on all of the time for nice smooth scrolling and animation. But this phone really is a powerhouse. It has 12 gigs of system memory and 256 gigs of UFS 3.0 storage, with Realme's Turbo Plus software tweaks added into the mix to give transfer speeds of over 740 megabits per second, so faster than your standard solid-state drive that you'll find in a PC. It runs a Snapdragon 865, the very latest and most powerful chip from Qualcomm. On top of that, you get a 4,500 mAh battery with the latest VOOC flash charging, which gives you 65 watts of power and will charge this phone from 0 to 100% in 35 minutes. Speed is actually a running theme throughout this device. You get the fastest in-display fingerprint scanner that I've ever tried. Realme claimed that it has an average unlocking speed of just 0.25 seconds, and now has a bigger surface area to read your fingerprint, and it works more or less first time every time. This is also the first time that we're seeing Realme's own UI skin, which is based on Android 10. Realme UI 1.0 tries to stay quite close to the base Android 10 operating system. It definitely is a nice refreshing change from their previous skins that they've always used, ColorOS, which tend to be quite heavy with unwanted software when you first boot them up. It's just more pleasing to the eye now and just works nice and smooth, although some of the visuals do still take influence from the Color UI. Some of their unusual icons still remain, but it still is an immeasurable improvement over the old software. Out of all the different interfaces that I've used with all the different smartphones, ColorOS 6 at least was always my least favorite. With it being a Super AMOLED screen, we get a full system-wide dark mode. Swiping to the right from the home screen will still bring up the Smart Assistant. It doesn't really seem to be much going on here at the moment, but you do have to remember that this is a prototype model and the software is not finished yet. For example, if I pinch the home screen, I should be able to select my wallpapers here, but on this phone at least, there are no wallpapers to select. They're still working out the bugs, so I am hesitant to give you my opinion on things like Smart Assistant. When it comes to the camera, despite it being properly cold in London at the moment, I was still out for quite a while taking pictures with it because the camera is a lot of fun to use. Really impressed with the photos that I'm getting. Again, you can tell that the software within the camera app is not really complete. If you switch to the ultra wide angle lens, then it's quite hit and miss, and the 64 megapixel shooting option is there, but it's not really allowing me to take pictures at the moment. It's using the Samsung 64 megapixel ISOCELL GW1 1.74 inch sensor as its main with an f1.8 lens. It jams 4 pixels down to 1 to give you a 1.6 micron pitch, and I'm really happy with its performance. We also get a 13 megapixel telephoto with a 2x and a 5x optical hybrid zoom. It also has a 20x hybrid zoom. So a very good zoom range, and from what I've seen so far of the 2x and the 5x are really very good. The jury's still out on how the 20x hybrid zoom performs, but we have to assume that the performance from this lens and all the other lenses will improve with the retail version. The ultra-wide angle lens has a very wide 119 degree field of view and an f2.3 aperture. It's got 8 megapixel resolution and it doubles as a macro lens, allowing you to focus as close as 3 centimeters. The final lens on the back is a black and white portrait lens. The new color filter system lets this lens see a wider array of light and therefore it can assist the main lens to capture better images. So far for me, the camera really has been performing well. I really like its design and how each lens is set just a little bit further away from the next. The front camera is also surprisingly good. It's a 32 megapixel sensor and an 8 megapixel. The larger sensor is paired with an ultra wide angle lens for those group selfie type shots. It's also capable of shooting slow motion video at 120 frames per second, and it really does show good quality. Again, this might have something to do with the software, but the 8 megapixel sensor, which has a narrower field of view, just looks totally different in terms of its quality. When it comes to video, I found it to be really good at 1080p with nice smooth stabilization. If you switch to 4K, there doesn't seem to be a way to turn on the stabilizer. However, the sensor does seem to perform well and shows good dynamic range. There is a slight crop when you switch to 4K and you are unable to use the ultra wide angle camera. But again, it is hard to know if these are the final features that will be included in the retail version. Such a powerful device with its Snapdragon 865 should have the capabilities to record high frame rate 4K video, and it should be able to do it stabilized too. As far as I can see, this is a very high spec smartphone that has a much more reasonable price than handsets which are very similarly spec'd. I think it's a really nice looking phone. It will really appeal to people who don't like curved screens. The handset itself is just a little bit thicker than some of the phones that I've used recently, which we're starting to expect from these 5G enabled devices, and it's probably the reason that they didn't go with that curved screen. You really do get a lot for your money with this phone. From mid-March, you can pick up an 8 128GB version for $599, 8 gigs with 256 gigs of storage will cost $669, and the top model with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of that storage will be at $749. If you like the look of this one, and when you're ready to buy, make sure that you check out the Direct Mobile's website. It is the best place to look for any mobile phone because you can compare all of the different networks right there on the one website. Plus they have over 24 years of award-winning customer service, so you really are in good hands. Direct Mobiles is there to find you the best possible price. Check down in the video description below for their link, or search directmobiles.co.uk. And make sure you check out the Btekt Amazon shop. You'll find all the best tech and accessories there, from smartwatches to earbuds to MacBook Pros. You'll find it all there, and it's all recommended by us. And if you buy something through there, you will be helping out our channel. That link's down in the video description below, so make sure you check it out. And that's it from me. I'll leave you with some photo and video samples from the Realme X50 Pro. I have been told that a full review unit is on its way. Let me know what you think of the X50 Pro in the comment section below. You can't deny that this is a good phone. 65-watt charging is incredible, and that fingerprint scanner works exactly how you want it to. I'm gutted that the 64 megapixel sensor isn't really working properly, but when it does, I will definitely be putting it through its paces. But anyway, leave me your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm David, this is Btekt.